Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. It's Drama Free Friday. Again, can you believe it? Hi, Cindy, Lori. Lori can't spell. Hi, Ann. Hi, Linda. Hey, Becky. Hi, Beth. Missed you on Sunday, Beth. Hi, Teresa. Yeah, we missed you Sunday, Beth. Oh, yes, I see you. And what do you want? You think that you're going to come up here and say hello? Hi, Terry. Yeah, drama free. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Shu. Good to see you. Hi, Angie. Hello, Tess. Hi, Gail. Lurking. That's fine. Hi, Gina. It is Drama Free Friday, and apparently someone's going to come up here and say hello, so let me get rid of my keyboard. Yeah, because he's decided he's going to make an appearance first. Hi, Ruth. He's going to make an appearance first thing. Come here. And then I can shut you up. Yes. Did you get your face cleaned up before you see the world? Let's see. Are you presentable? Are you presentable? Let's see. Let's see. Yep, there you go. There he is. Now he wants me to pet him. He's never satisfied, I tell you, never satisfied. Hi, Virginia. So we're just chatting for a minute. Hi, Barbara. Sure, exactly, Angie. That's the way that works. Hi, Joan. Oh, well, you got work to do. You got work to do, Becky. She got her hair done. Well, there you go. It's important. That is important. Got to keep your, you have to keep your priorities in order. He is called a blue point. He is a blue point. Oh, I'm sorry, Beth. I'll be sending you good energy. Yeah, I know. Bernadette is your dog. She's cute, too. She is cute. Got to keep those hairs done. There's nothing like getting a little freshening up, huh? Oh, Chance, goodness. He is so demanding, honestly. He is so demanding. Ah. Charlie's on the floor. Hi, Sandy. I'll see if I can show you. Pardon the shaky and terrible camera work. Here, let me get out of the picture. Can you see the... right there? Chance is rubbing his head on the tripod. See him over there? There's Charlie back there. Chance is looking at him like, ha, 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 I got the table and you didn't. I got the table and you didn't. Yep. Yeah, so he is a, this one is a blue point. Charlie is a chocolate point. They were rescued from their former owner. Hi, Linda. Linda White Holloway. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen your name in the chat in forever. Good to see you. Hi, Artful Dabbler. Artful Dabbler. Tori. Did I guess right? Sandy is no longer with us. She's been gone for a long time. Muppet is downstairs. Yeah, we lost Sandy. Ooh, sorry. Gotta get a rag and mop up his excited drool. What was I saying? Hi, Nancy. Tori's right. Okay. Hey, Paula. Drooly thing. He doesn't drool except on camera. Don't ask me why. No idea. Hey, Nancy Dale. Hi, Artsy Wannabe Nancy. Yeah, Sandy was our golden retriever, and she, gosh, she's been gone 3 or 4 years now. She was pretty old. She lived a good long life. Oh, it is happy drool. I mean, it is just everywhere. Anyway, I'm trying to give him all the love pats I can give him, so then I can shut him behind door number 1 and he'll go to sleep. Do you think? You think the chances of that? I think I was telling you about them. These two guys have been here now for, golly, 8 years or something. I've forgotten. I'd have to go back and look at the paperwork. I've forgotten how many years they've been here. They lived with a nurse, and I think she traveled a lot. She probably wishes she had him back right now, huh? But she traveled a lot, and I think she got Charlie first. Their original names were Frank and Garth. Hi, Lauren. Their original names were Frank and Garth. Now, I don't know which was which, but I changed their names because it's like, nah, Frank and Garth are Siamese cats. I don't know. Didn't seem like it fit. So anyway, I was looking for cats, and she was looking for a home, and so it was a good fit. I didn't know if I'd be able to live with them because I thought I was allergic to Siamese cats. Turns out I was allergic to the person who had the Siamese cats that I thought I was allergic to. Hey, Dorothy. Oh, goodness. So anyway, they've been here for quite a while. They had quite a Charlie didn't have any trouble adjusting. Chance, on the other hand, had a hard time adjusting. Hi, Jean. Okay, are you ready to go in the other room? I think Charlie did. All right, let me see if I can put them away so maybe they'll be quiet. Tiny little cats. Tiny little cats. There you go. Be good. Be quiet. We have to, I don't know if you saw me flip that, but there's a wooden stop up here at the top of the door. I have to flip that over because otherwise he will slam the door. That cat does some weird stuff. One thing he does that's really weird is he likes to slam the doors. So he gets up behind the door and he walks on his hind legs and he slams the door shut. That's to get attention. If I hadn't seen him do it myself, I wouldn't have believed it. And what else? So we have those stoppers on all the doors that are important. Otherwise, hey, Brenda. Otherwise, he will, I know, Linda, right? She says she's allergic to some people too. Me too. So, what was I saying? Golly, my attention span is just like today. Yeah, so anyway, we have to put those door stops on any door that we don't want him to shut Charlie someplace, or he'll shut himself out. So there's a room over here. There's another door that I'm pointing to. You can't see in the shot, but there's another door over here, and he will go over there, and that's a bathroom. And he'll get inside the bathroom if I don't have that stop pulled down, and he will get behind the door, and he'll shut the door and shut himself in the bathroom. They're just crazy. Dorothy had a cat that could jump on the lever handle and open it. These guys are too fat to do that, so that's good. Hey, Tink. Fortunately, he's too fat. Both of them are too fat to do that. It's not fortunate that they're too fat, but yeah. I tried a lot of things. They came here fat. They've stayed fat. There's nothing I can do to get rid of the fatness of these cats. I have tried, believe me. I have really tried. Finally, I just gave up and went. I bought expensive maintenance cat food. I portioned their food, the whole bit. Beats me. No idea. Okay, so I was looking through some stuff. I'm still trying to dig my studio out of the chaos, and work too. Sometimes it's a challenge. Anyway, I got this. This I found in my stuffs, and I thought you guys might enjoy seeing this. This is a book that a friend brought to me. She came to visit. That she had I think she was Pennsylvania, maybe, where she was from. Anyway, they had relatives here in the same town that I live in, and so she brought this to me when she came to visit, and we got together. We had the most amazing time. We even streamed back then, but it was on Ustream. We had such a good time. Such a good time. Her name is Angela Thompson. Angela Thompson. And I haven't talked to her in a long time, but I thought I would show you this since I found it. It is just gorgeous. It is such yumminess, and I thought if anybody needed some ideas, she does wonderful, wonderful stuff. So it is put together with, it's either a Coptic stitch or that chain stitch binding. I'm not sure which. I think it might be that chain stitch kind of binding. And you see the binding stitches there. And then all of these fibers, of which there are many, they are tied. How is that? She's got strings in here, and so she's tied fibers to the strings. I think she tied fibers on every place that she could find a spot to tie fibers on. Anyway, it's really cool. Hi, Kimberly. So I thought I would show it to you. It is made from corrugate. Paul is in the house. I have to be careful with my terminology. I almost said corrugated cardboard, but it's corrugate whatever. It's thick cardboard stuff. There you go. I didn't work in the box plant, so I don't have my terminology correct. Interesting buttons. I know, look at Paula's laughing at me. Paula will correct my terminology in the chat. Paula is Journal Artista. Anyway, but the pages are really thick, and every page is the same kind of thing, I believe. So this says wisdom on the front. I'm sure you can see. Lots and lots of texture. It's wrapped with paper of some kind. I really treasure this book. It's really beautiful. And just to let you know, the size is 6 3/4. I think it's square. 6 3/4 by 7. So, okay. So there's the book. So when you open it up, she has a pocket here. I think she might have had a card in there. I don't remember. This is scrapbook paper, I believe. And her style is really very interesting. She uses a lot of tribal motifs. I don't know if she still does or not. Hey, Janice. She has but very, very tribal imagery, and just some really interesting things. Like this is some kind of image that she split apart. Mastering yourself is true power. Lives of survival. Lots of really interesting imagery and color. She's very bold in her imaging. And she included wax paper between every page. So I've left it in there so nothing has stuck together so far. But I haven't looked at this in a long time either. So she knows that I really like, and still do, even back then and now, I really like symbolism and imagery, and so she included lots of things like that. The colors are really interesting. Yeah, the colors are really cool, aren't they? So lots of collage, you know, some things from magazines and I don't know where, you know, but then a lot of things like these are things that she painted. Lots of collage in the background, text paper in the background. But her birds are so interesting. They're just cool. It's just a cool book. Make art every day. Again, you can see all the collage elements in the back. I wish she were here. I haven't seen her online in a long time. And this is some kind of ticket or some baggage claim, or baggage room, it says on there. But the colors are just really nice. Really cool. I just thought it might give you some ideas. I like that. Wisdom dwells within. I think that's something she painted, but I'm not positive. I know the leaves are and the background is. I don't know. This could be an image collage image that she found. This she painted. Listen to your muse. Hi, Amber. I mean, she has a ton of time in this, let me tell you. She knows how much I love the butterfly and the symbolism of the butterfly. So she had lots of butterflies on this. Embrace nature. There's a bird. Flowers. It really is, isn't it? It is a treasure. It's just so cool. I don't know what she used. If she used Mod Podge, it's kind of shiny. I don't know if she used Mod Podge and that's why she put the wax paper in. Could be. But it was really thoughtful because otherwise this probably would have had some stickage problems. Plant flower. She was a very avid gardener, and so she did lots of gardening. And we used to talk on the phone once in a while, and she talked about, you know, her gardening and how much she loved being out in the summer and spring and stuff like that. I hope she's still doing that. Isn't it? It's really sad when you lose track of people. I'll have to send her an email, see if I can get back in touch with her. Isn't it pretty? And there's that one. Polly, you might have some Amazon boxes. One or two, right? One, they're really old though, I'm sure. Not anything current. A heart can be touched by hands unseen. So true. Look at that. When I wrote my book, Normal Doesn't Live Here Anymore, which honestly, seriously, how appropriate is that title today? Normal doesn't live here anymore. Yeah. But when I wrote the book, she was one of my readers. And it was really funny. She contacted me right after she finished reading it, and she had lots of choice words to say about some of the events that I covered in that book. It was really funny. Because, you know, here's the thing. After you live those events, you get on past that. You know, sometimes something will still trigger or whatever, but you move past it. Well, somebody reading the book, it's all brand fresh information to them, so, you know, they have their reactions, and I have to let them do that. Hey, Judy. Yeah, I am psychic. Normal is a setting on the dryer. Somebody said that, didn't they? Drew an illustration about it even. Art, study the masters. Watch the sunset. I just love how she put these together. You know, and the thing about it is she allowed things to be what they were. Like, she didn't try to cover all the edges and blend everything together. Like, you can see all the edges of the collage in here. I like that. I like that. This I know is one of her images. Embrace quiet meditation. I know this is one of her images. She did absolutely stunning faces. Yeah. And this was one of the first images I saw that she did, and I just really liked that. She drew this. If you look at it, it's a profile, and then it's also the full face, but you can see the profile if you look. It's one of those things you got to make your eyes really look at it. But I saw this image, and that really struck me when I saw her artwork, her painting of this. And I think the story was that she painted this in response to a job she had where somebody was two-faced. And I thought, yeah, got it. Oh, you did, Sandy? Oh, cool. Thanks for reading it. Hi, Gail. Welcome, everybody who's here. Hi, Kathy. I know, it's just really interesting. Welcome, everybody that's here. So anyway, and there's the back of it. I love the color combination. So textured. I think she probably used tissue paper or something on here, but you can still see the corrugate. Can you see the kind of highs and lows of the texture of the corrugate? Isn't that cool? And again, there's the spine. Now look how colorful the pages are. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's 9 pages with the buttons. It's really nice. Isn't that cool? Yeah. So anyway, I found that today, and I had told somebody at one point, I don't know what group I said this to, that I would show this book. Could have been this one. Oh, did you, Beth? Oh, thanks. Oh, sure. I'm glad to share it. I thought it was really neat. Now I'm going to show you one of mine. Hi, Nui. Now I'm going to show you one of mine. This is not the same, on the same level of art as that. What I'm going to show you is more on the level of like a memory book. Like a memory book. Okay, so I'm going to show you this. This was a book that we did in the VIP group, gosh, a year or two ago. I've forgotten how long ago. And it's a tag book, and the tags are made out of just various papers that I had done. Paste paper, jelly prints, and so forth. So they're just tags. I think these are the number 10 tags. They're the ones, the pattern came from, like, you know, a regular shipping tag. And so then what I did is cut them out, and I glued 2 together. Okay, so I glued 2 together. That's how the pages are rather sturdy. And then what I did is, this is just kind of a memory book of my dad, and these are sari silk ribbons that I tied through the tops of the tags. Okay, so I thought I would just show these to you, but these are prints from, my dad was he taught flower arranging and all different kinds of things to do with flowers in the university setting. And so I printed out the pictures. I may be using some of these today, so I thought I would show them to you now because I may use some of these later today. And these were just put on here with black and white, printed them out with black ink only. Some of the images were only black and white. And then I just used gel pens to embellish them and bump them up a little bit. So there's that one. And he did lots of flower arranging. I don't know if CB's here or not. CB's a flower arranger as well. And so these are very typical arrangements of the time that he was teaching. And so, of course, they look just, you know, ancient, dated, etc. now. But at the time, these were very, you know, formal arrangements. And the reason I added the gel pens, and that's completely embellished, and I didn't try to hide the fact that I embellished it, but the reason I did is because these were printed with inkjet printer, and when I put it on here, of course, the matte medium made them run a little bit. And so in order to brighten them back up, I just used the gel pens. And these were some of the flowers that he raised. These are single peonies. So most of the time you see peonies are much fuller. These were singles, so you got to see a lot of the centers. So I embellished just the centers of the flowers and then added some dots and stuff. So it's just some of the highlights of my dad's life. So there's another one of his flower arrangements. That picture was so dark that without the gel pen on it, you couldn't even see it. You can't even see the container. My dad loved to take pictures, but boy, his camera, you know, photography's come a long way. Let's just say that. Oh, did you, Tracy? Oh, that's really cool. Oh, he was a very creative person. He really was. He taught greenhouse stuff to do, the greenhouse management and things like that. This is a student that he's working with. This, I think, was for a newspaper article or something. But again, I've embellished the flowers, just little bits and pieces. In whether the image is black and white or the image was color, I just went in and embellished bits and pieces of. And I wasn't sure when I first did it if I liked it. And then the more I looked at it, the more I I like it. So this is another one of the arrangements he did. Doesn't that thing look spindly? He used to tell me, he was very free with his opinions about the things that I did. I would have to tell him today, if he were here, he's not, but if I would have to tell him that that's an ugly, ugly flower arrangement. Oh, did you, Beth? I would have to tell him that was ugly. Same thing here. I just embellished all the whatever was there. I don't know if you can see. Hopefully you get a good look at it and you can really tell what the gel pen is. And I just wrote in my own handwriting. I wrote with probably a paint pen and then just did some embellishment around that with the thinner lines. And there's another one. And this was, he liked to make the arrangements go with the container, and that was something he really did, man. He was big on the container, had to go with, the container had to go with the arrangement, and we had lots of spray paint. And you know, the funny thing is when you're a kid and that stuff is going on, you know, whatever that stuff is, it's just normal in your life. And then later down the road you go, why did we have all those cans of spray paint in the garage? And why was Dad always spray painting a container? Why didn't he ever leave them the same color? Well, he was doing that to make the flowers go with the container, you know, and he spray painted all kinds of stuff. He was good at that. Was good at that. Hi, Mary Beth. It's a fun little book. Again, I'm just giving you a couple ideas today. You can take some from me, take some from somebody else. These were just tulips that were planted out in the garden. We had all kinds of flower beds and gardens. My dad would just about kill himself with all the flower beds, but you know, it was what he loved. And he had flower beds at the university, and he had flower beds here at home. Not here, but at our home. He did love to grow peonies, and so I included a bunch more. He loved these single peonies, or peonies if you'd rather. This, I don't know why I did this to the stems, but it was just like, you know, something to do so they'd show up. Hi, Robin. Yeah, so, and just little, you know, bits of embellishments here and there. You know why this is here? Because I wrote, see how slanted the word is? So I added this little embellishment to try and pull it down a little bit. Hi, Laura. And then here I just added a couple more flowers. Again, I was trying to kind of make the page make sense to me. So I had printed off multiple images of the pictures that I had. Most of these images were from slides, old, what they call them, Ektachrome, Kodachrome, I think, slides. And most of these then I was able to scan into the computer. And so, you know, they've been they have been redone quite a few times, so the quality is less than perfect. See, here's the thing about the spray paint. He liked to spray paint the containers to get the right color. And this container right here, it was black, it was red, it was peach, it was pink. I remember that. You're welcome. It's my pleasure, Judy. It's my pleasure. These are crocuses, and that's one of the roses. He didn't grow very many roses. And so when he got a good rose, man, we had every picture of it, and we had every print in every size, because he would be really proud of a rose. He wasn't much of a rose grower. And these are the fall mums in here. And the reason I'm holding them so close is just so you can see the embellishment. It's just fun to play with your gel pens. And most of the gel pens in here are the Moonlight Jelly Roll pens by Sakura, because they'll show up on dark surfaces. The stranger the container, the more he liked it. And that is very true. That is very, very true. And this one, for example, and these images right here, these are supposed to be yellow. Back in the day, and I can't tell you if that's under or overexposed. Underexposed, I think. If you underexposed the image, pardon me. If you underexposed the image, it would skew the color so badly. And make it so dark. And at first I thought, well, I'll throw those out, you know, because they're not really any good. And then I thought, no, I'm just going to keep them, you know, just keep them in the, and who cares if they're not the right color? I know what color they were supposed to be. So I just embellished them. This container down here, I don't know if you can see it, but those are mules. Those are two mules pulling a wagon. And he had every kind of flower arrangement in this container imaginable. And the reason this was significant for him is because of the Missouri mule. That was the state, I don't know, mascot or whatever. Hi, Sheila. And anybody I missed, hello, hello. It's only peony in the deep south, okay. Yeah, so that was quite the container back then. This is my dad when he was in college. My mother always had to tell me this was a leather coat, and I think she bought that for him. And she always liked to tell me that was his only winter coat for a long time. Like, okay. You know, after about the 15th time you hear that, you go, got it. Got it. So I colored his tie, and this was a scarf around his neck just to put some color into the page. So that was my dad when he was in college. And this is a picture I included just because I love it. It has nothing to do with flowers. Neither did this, but it's just, you know, pictures of my dad. So he played the French horn in the marching band in college. He was actually fortunate enough to be able to play with John Philip Sousa, the March King, who came and guest conducted their marching band one time. So that was a cool memory. So this is embellished with some gold paint pen on the buttons and the whatever this trim was that went around his neck. And I embellished the valves on the French horn a little bit, and this up here in his hat, and then the rest of it. So anyway, hello, Mary. So I just thought I would share both of those with you so that it might give you some ideas. You know, you don't always have to take life so seriously. You know, get out your gel pens and make some graffiti on stuff. Oh, thanks. I did a canvas about my mom years ago. Someday I'll drag that down. It's up hanging on the wall. And it was a similar thing, but it was a canvas. So I'll bring that down and show you. Somebody remind me of that in a week or two. It's a lavender canvas. Hi, Marion. You see Race and my dad? Yeah. Yeah. I can see where you see that. Linda played the stereo. Bet you played it loud, too. Okay. So, meanwhile, back at what we're going to do today. I know I'm missing chat. Oh, Paula played the French horn. See that. I know I'm missing things in the chat. Hello, Mama is Learning. Good to have you here. My piano playing. And I wanted to say hello to Linda. I don't know Linda's last name, but we have lots of Lindas that come and visit. And there's one Linda, she'll know who she is, who leaves me very sweet messages in the comment section. I don't think she's able to join us live, and she said that she always likes hearing me say hello to Linda, even though she knows it's not for her. So Linda, this is for you. So thank you for always watching the recording and leaving such sweet comments. So I just wanted to say that while I thought about it. Hello, Tracy. We have several Tracys here today, too. Last week, people wanted me to put a cover on this little book. And this little book is one we started a few weeks ago. And then I got sidetracked with something else. And this is just a bunch of, it's warped and it's, you know, but I like stuff like this. I like things that have unique character. You know, the spine's not super straight, the pages are wonky, is what it is. But it's a book of positive words and things, words I love. That's what it's going to be. So that's what's in here. We stuck a few little things in here, you know, various places. So it only has a few little things. Anyway, people wanted to see me put a cover on it. So I thought, okay, we'll do that. Oh, there's Race. Hello. Hi, Dana. Okay, so what we're going to do is put a cover on this. And we'll see where it goes. It's just watercolor paper, so if it doesn't work out just right, who cares, right? Who cares? Yeah, they do go wonky because, you know, you're using, even though I used glue stick to stick the pages together, then I went back and I used paste paint on top of the pages. So, you know, water and paper are going to do their thing. They just are. So we're not going to worry about it. So what I've cut is, hi Malia. So what I've cut out here is some sticky back canvas. This is some old sticky back canvas that I had on hand. This is from Ranger, still produces sticky back canvas. This is back in the day when Claudine Helmuth was one of their signature designers several years ago. So I just took that sticky back canvas, and it is, I don't know whether you're going to be able to see, it is textured, and it has paper on the back. There is an adhesive on the back of the canvas part of it. Now, by the time I put wet stuff on, we're just going to live with it. So we're going to have to subject ourselves to my Cruddy mat. Oh, another thing that I do, I just saw it because it fell on the floor. Another thing that I do that I encourage people to do if they want, if they feel like they want to do something like this, totally, you know, if I make a suggestion to you and you go, well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, that's fine. That's fine. But what I wanted to show you, and I've shown this before in the past, is that I have, this is a it's a composition, it's the size of a composition notebook, but it's actually a moleskin notebook. I really love the paper of the moleskin. Love the paper. I like to write on it. I just like the way the pen glides across the paper. I wrote in composition notebooks for a long time, have a whole stack of those that are journals, but once I started using a moleskin, it's like, oh no, now I'm ruined. I'm ruined. Hi, Mary. Brenda, I don't know if I said hello to you, but hello. I know I'm missing people as they come in, but I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for taking your time to join me. And in case you don't know who I am, my name is Barb of HowToGetCreative.com. So anyway, this is a book of letters that I started back in 2018. And it's just a bunch of book of letters that I wrote. I'm writing to my mother. My mother lived with me when I took, you know, she lived with me for quite a while. And so what I'm doing is just writing letters. This was a Bitmoji that Race sent to me, so I cut them out and put them in here. Printed them off, cut them out, stuck them in the book. There's not a lot in the way of images in here. It's mostly just writing. But the reason I started this is I started thinking about, my mom's been gone like 14 years now, and I started thinking about all the things that had changed since she was here, and I thought, you know, it was a way for me to write down, but in a different way, not just in a journal style, but just in a different way, to kind of do memory keeping, but in a different kind of way. And so, well, was she going to read these letters? Well, I don't think so. I seriously doubt it. Is anybody ever going to care about this book? Quite possibly not. But it's a very special book to me. It's all about me, and I only care about me. No, I don't know. That didn't come across right at all. Anyhow, it's an idea. It's just an idea. It also helps me feel, you know, on those days where I'm feeling. You like my little tricky? You like my little trick? My little trick. Flippy screen. On days when I really feel like I'm missing her, and I still have those days, I think I will forever, and then I write a letter to her. And so it's just been a really neat experience. So anyway, just thought I would share that with you while I saw it. And this is a jelly plate print. And these are those hand masks that I love so much. They don't make them anymore, but it is my absolute favorite mask of all time. I wish they still made them. Wish they still manufactured them. And this is also a jelly print. And then these are just leftover bits and pieces of the edges of you know, paper that was like under paper, and I just turned them into tape and glued them on the edges. So anyway, just an idea. Just thought I would share that with you while I saw it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It is. Okay, I'll share it with you guys. All right, so what I have is 2 pieces of sticky back canvas. This one's going to go on here. I oversized them. Okay, I oversized them. I'll cut them down. The cover's probably going to be as wonky as the little book, but you know, that's okay. So I have another one back here. Once I get them cut down, then I'll put a spine and put a spine over that, just because it was easier to do it in multiple pieces. So we'll see what happens. Shall we? All right. Well, there you go, Annette. Good for you. Now you got something to do. Hi, Christy. All right. So it's rolling up my sleeves. Rolling up my sleeves. Man, I tried to get the orange paint out of this shirt that I got all over it last week. Nope. That orange paint. Can you see it? There it is. That orange paint is there for good, man. It is there for good. I tried all kinds of things. I tried all my tricks, but I let it sit in there and I let it dry. It cured. It cured. Drama free is good, isn't it? Okay, so let's put some paint on here. These are just little pages, so they're not going to take a lot. Not going to take a lot of paint. Get some water. I actually brought water over to the table in case we need it. So I'm just going to put some water in my container, which looks a lot worse. It's actually clean. This mat is actually clean, although it doesn't look like it, I know. All right, so let's get some colors out. Let's do, I love this lime green. I love it so much, I bought another tube of it, the big tube. How about turquoise? And what other color shall we use? Maybe a little bit of this blackberry. And where is the pink color? Don't want blushing. I want the other one. Where is it? Here it is. Magenta. And then we've got some gilt if we want to use some of that. So that's what we're going to use at the moment. See what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay, so let me just move this over a little bit. Anybody has any questions or comments for me, be sure you write them in all caps so that I can have a chance at seeing it. All right, we're just going to work on one. I don't really even care if this all goes together. Yeah, I don't even care if it goes together. We're just going to put out some paint. And this is a Ranger craft mat. This paint is getting really chunky. I tell you, you got to use your stuff, you know, because if you don't use it, it is going to go away. And this paint is going away. So is this one. Once you open the tube or the bottle, it starts drying up on you. Hello, Jan. How are you? How is Mr. Bear? So I'm just going to put these paints out and we're just going to play with them. We're just going to play with them. I'm not going to put out too much of this one. We'll see if we can make these paints do something. They are all getting, every one of them is getting like cottage cheese on steroids. Alright, so I just got some water. I'm going to just wet a brush and we're just going to slap some paint on. Sound good? And this is going to get, this is nice and flat right now, but take a good look because it's going to not be flat here very long. It's not going to be flat very long. So we're just going to put some paint on it. And this is really absorbent. The canvas is very absorbent, so it's a good chance to use up some paint. The ugly colors, the uglier the color, the less it will dry up or go away. That is the how of that. That is just the way that goes. All right. I do like this lime color. See what I mean? I told you it was not going to stay flat very long. And it won't. You just got to get your hands in there. You know, if I'd oversized it more, I could have taped it down to the surface. But you know what? Who has time for that? Who has time for that? So how are you guys doing with the current situation we all find ourselves living with? How are you doing? Mr. Bear says howdy. Well, howdy to Mr. Bear and Sydney and everybody residing on Quail Hill. So how are you guys doing? Are you finding things to kind of, are you finding a routine? Or are you driving yourself crazy? Or are you madly organizing? Or what are you doing? What are you doing? Cheryl is staying in. But what do you do to, what are you doing to occupy your time? What are you doing to occupy your time? Don't want to go shopping as much. That is true. That is true. I agree with that. All right, I don't know if we're going to be able to mimic this, but you know, we'll just put some paint on here and see what this one looks like. Crocheting and mixed media. Cool. You're allowed to meet up with a total of 6 people in the garden from tomorrow. Oh, cool. It certainly has changed a lot of things for us, hasn't it? Certainly has changed a lot of things. And I have to admit, I went through so many different emotions. Golly. So many emotions from, I mean, it was the whole gamut of, being sad, being upset, being angry, being, mourning the loss of the life that I'd been living, being rebellious. Yeah, being rebellious. That was a big one. Takes longer to do your job because of the remote work. That's cool, Nanette. She's doing a portrait of her son and planning and getting ready for her granddaughter's virtual shower. Isn't that just wild? It's just wild to think about doing things like showers and weddings and prom virtually. Like, how in the world do you do a virtual prom? Don't answer that question because I don't want to know. Don't answer that question. Yeah. There's some virtual things I don't want to know about. Might hurt my sensibilities. Virtual kindergarten graduation. There are just so many things that are just so strange. So many things about it that have been so strange. But anyway, I just wondered how you all were doing. Are any of you playing along or drawing along with Barbara Gray with Clarity Stamp with the drawings that she's doing every day? If you're not, it's a good thing to check out. She's over in UK. The hardest part about this canvas is that it immediately curls up, so you just kind of have to manhandle it a little bit. And then I usually, after I get it wet and mess with it like this, then I usually have to go back and add more adhesive to the back because I don't trust it after I get it so wet and messed up. You watch her all the time, Tori? Yeah. She broadcasts, I think, on Facebook every morning, UK time. And I'm ignorant about things like that, so I can't tell you much more than UK time. 10 o'clock in the morning on Facebook. And she does that Monday through Friday. So she's done some really interesting things. I've learned several things from her that were really great. Hey, Shelly Crafton Mamas, how are ya? Yeah, she's on YouTube also. But if you want to catch her live, you have to catch her on Facebook. Ruth says, let's have virtual marriages. We'd have less divorce that way, she thinks. Could be. Oh, it's good to see you, Shelly. I miss you. Crafting Mamas is Shelly. She's over in Hawaii. Okay, so we got some stuff going on. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit, so we'll slap some paint on the spine. I'm just doing this just to get just kind of encourage it. Just encourage it. Yeah, she's on HowToGetCreative, the shopping channel. I don't understand. I really like watching some of the stuff on the shopping channel on HowToGetCreative. I don't get how it works. I'm clearly not bright enough to understand how it works. Don't explain it to me. I really don't want to know. I really don't want to know, so don't tell me. Yeah, I wonder that same thing, Linda, what people are doing who don't have internet access. It is really true. So again, this is just sticky back canvas I'm using Dina Wakley media paint that is old and drying up on me. So it is time to use it. It is time to use it. This is Blackberry Violet. That's this color. So the other colors I was using are magenta, turquoise, lime, and blackberry violet. I do love the colors. I really do love the colors. But man, the lesson is, people, use your stuff. Don't hoard it. Don't save it. For your good projects, you got to use your stuff, man. Got to use your stuff. And it's better if you work in larger pieces of sticky back canvas, but you know, that wasn't what I decided to do. So I'm going to just make life difficult for myself. Because I can. Because I can make it challenging. I'm trying to get some variation in the color, which I think I've about achieved here. Don't want it totally smooth and even. Let's see. Hi, Amalia. Yeah, okay, I see your question got answered. Yeah, it is really interesting to see kids outside, see families interacting. I mean, there's some very good things that have come out of this. Lots of challenging things, but there are some very good things that have come out of it as well. Lots of challenges. Okay, can you see how this is wrinkling back here? That's where the paper is kind of coming away from the sticky back. I still like this product enough that I'll just deal with that, you know. Not everybody does this the way I do it. Oh, that's funny. Barbara says it's so quiet in her town she can hear the church bells. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, our town is, our little city is pretty quiet. It is pretty quiet. Okay, so this is kind of what it's gonna, you know, front cover, back cover, spine. I'm gonna put some other stuff on here, but for the moment, I'm just kind of winging it. Just kind of winging it. All right, what color shall we put on next? Maybe I'm going to take one of these colors and just thin it way down, or another color. I don't know. What color shall we use? See, I should not even stop and think about it, so I'm not going to. Because when I stop and think about it and start ruminating, that's when I get myself in trouble. So I'm just going to thin the paint way down. Because what I want to do is just add some, I just want to play. Just play. We may put some yellow in here. Ruminating can get you in big trouble. You know what I mean? My best journal is the one I write in, because when I sit down to work in that journal, I always put stuff on the page first, and I never know where I'm going to go with it, never know at all what's going to happen, and I just start putting stuff on the page, and every time I get finished with the page and I'm like, I love this. It's when I start thinking about stuff that I get myself in trouble. Mary says, don't throw away paint. Yeah, well, Mary doesn't live in my studio, does she? So when I throw stuff away, I just say, Mary would not like that. I try really hard not to waste stuff. But, you know, if it becomes unusable and hard to manage, it's out of here. It's gone. It's history. It is sayonara. Yep. It is out of here. Yep. So that's the way that goes. I know Mary Beth had a cow last week when I threw away that distress paint. But that distress paint was toast. It was toast. There was no saving that. I know Mary thought I could save it, but there was no saving that, baby. It's just one of those things. You just got to use your stuff. That's all. And sometimes I end up with too much stuff, you know, because people want to see this thing or that thing or some other thing, so I will get that. And sometimes, you know, occasionally a company will send me something. I don't do a lot of that because I don't want to be beholden to, well, I got to do this thing now. I got to do that for that. You know, it's like, so I don't do much of that. Agreeing to have companies send stuff to me in exchange for me doing something for them. It's like, no, I got enough going on. I don't really need to do that. Anyway. So, Muppet's eye is getting better. I told you a few weeks ago that she had an ulcer in her eye. And she's getting better. Okay, now, straighten yourself out. Marion says she watches Cat Hand and her teeny tiny pieces of paper that she saves. Yeah, I probably am guilty of some of that too. But see, paper doesn't go bad. That's a problem. Neither does fabric. Mary says, send me your trash. Mary, you don't want my trash. Seriously. You do not want my trash. Mary just thinks she wants my trash. She really doesn't want my trash. So anyway, Muppet's eye is getting better. And I'm still having to treat it, but she's getting better. And then she went ripping outside. She loves to go out and chase the squirrels. And if the dog's behind us, the daughter comes to visit. And she has several dogs. And 2 of them are about this, you know. They're about that tall. And they think that they rule the world. And Muppet is not going to be bossed around by those dogs for nothing. You're not bossing her around. And so she runs out to the fence, and then she'll slam on the brakes. And she will screw up her legs. And she's done it so many times where she's messed up her legs. Bless her little heart. Bless her little pea-picking heart, that dog. Ugh. So she'll go screaming out to the fence, and then she limps. She'll come back in. She comes back in the house, carrying the leg. It's always a front leg. So she'll carry the leg, and she'll come up, and she'll sit down, and she looks at me, and she's this pained look on her face, and then she starts going, It's like, you did it to yourself. That dog, honestly, that dog. It's a good thing we love her. It's a good thing we love her. I don't think I want to use that one. It's a good thing we love her. Send it. Yeah, exactly. Jan, send it COD. No return address. I don't think it'd take her very long to figure out where it was coming from. Do you? All right, let's use this stencil, shall we? Let's stencilize this a little bit, just because. Don't look, Mary. I'm wiping up some paint. Don't look. Don't look. All right, let's just stick some of this on. See if we can still salvage a little bit of this paint. I know you're not supposed to put any water with paint when you're going to stencil with it, but there's only so much I can do to resurrect this paint. Only so much I can do to resurrect that. See? That's all right. That's all right. Oh my goodness, my tummy is hungry. I don't know how long I'm going to last here today, people. The blood sugar is getting low. That didn't look too bad, really. Shocker. Aw, Tori, that was very sweet of you. Thank you. You did not need to do that, but thank you. Thank you. That was very sweet. Thank you so much. You took me by surprise. Hi, Ellie. Wish you could give me an egg bite. Oh, I like egg bites. I have made... How do you make them, Robin? Tell us how you make them. Because I make them, and I'm not sure I do them right, but they were pretty good. It is my pleasure to be here and brighten your day. It is my pleasure. Absolutely. And then I just ramble on while we're doing it. Just ramble and ramble. Okay, so let's use some... I'm going to see if I can find the yellow. I also want to use some of this gold. Let's do yellow first, shall we? Let's do some yellow first. Oh, these poor paints. These poor paints. It's like, I can't come out of the bottle. I can't come out of the bottle. I don't know how to come out of the bottle. I'm stuck. There was a little girl. Gold, yeah. Marrying her gold. Okay, any of you who are easily offended, tune away, tune away now. Turn off. Turn it off. Hi, Alicia. Because I'm going to tell you a story that could offend your sensibilities. Okay? Well, that's cool. That's cool, Robin. Oh, egg bites are... If it's the same thing I'm thinking of, it's something you get at Starbucks. Do you make them in a muffin pan? They're kind of like individual omelets. That's kind of what they're like. Crustless. Hi, Barbara. So anyway, we used to live out in the country a long time ago, and I'm letting this dry while I waffle on. And there was a little girl, there was a family that had 3 little kids. And the little girl was about 4, I guess. And she sucked her thumb a lot. And they had a dog. They had 2 dogs. One was a female bird dog of some kind. And they had a male that was a whodunit kind of dog. And neither of them had been fixed. Well, all was okay until the younger dog, who was the female, got old enough to begin having heat cycles. And then the male dog, who liked to circulate the neighborhood and spread the wealth, got to her. And so the family, the mother and the kids, and this little girl was the middle of the 3 kids. They were outside and with another neighbor, and the male dog had gotten to the female. And there is a point in the breeding process where they do what's called tying, and it's just, it's just biology. Yep, spread the wealth, that's right. So they tie, and it's not uncommon for the male dog to turn around, and so they're literally tied together and their heads are going opposite directions. If you've ever... Anyway, enough said. The funny part of the story is that the little girl, why the mother's standing out there with her little kids, but I guess she thought they wouldn't really know what was going on, and she was trying to figure out what to do about it, which is too late. Anyway, the little girl, you can just see kids. She's standing there sucking her thumb, taking it all in. And then she stopped and she looks up at her mom. This is when you know you're in for it, because they will stop. And stop whatever they're doing. So she stops, she pulls her thumb out of her mouth, and she had a lisp. And she looks at her mom and whoever she was talking to, and she says, "Mommy, they're stuck." Yeah, they're stuck. And indeed they were. So anyway, I think that union produced some real ugly puppies, as I recall. But anyway, they're stuck. Okay. That was so funny. Oh, golly. I mean, that happened so many years ago, and I remember it just like it was yesterday. Some memories just don't go away, you know what I mean? Some memories do not go away. I have a few of those with Race, but I'm not going to embarrass him. Not on purpose. Sometimes I do, but I don't intend to, always. Just sometimes. Oh, yeah. Got some yellow circleage going on. Who doesn't love some yellow circleage? Isn't that funny? Oh, golly, what a memory. They're stuck. Again, if you're easily offended and I just offended you, my apologies. I warned ya. I warned ya. Usually the memories are stuck like that too. That's right. Ah, shoot. That's funny, Robin. Oh, goodness. See, this conversation can go nowhere good now. Can go nowhere good now. Yep, it can go nowhere good. All right, we got some spots. We got some spots. I mean, life is good now. We got some spots, right? Yesterday, I spent the day opening and closing the windows. Pardon me. I've talked a lot in although I think I'm over all the allergy stuff, every once in a while it kind of gets me. It started out raining, and I like that. Those are happy little spots to go with Bob Ross's happy little trees. Right? Yep, I got some happy little spots to go with. I mean, people call me Barb Ross sometimes. There you go. Happy little spots to go with the happy little trees. All right, let's put some happy little spots on this one. I need some more yellow. Where's my yellow? What did I do with it? Hello, Ellen from Denmark. So funny. Golly, that was a funny memory. I can tell you one about race. You want to? No, I won't. I won't. I can't tell that. That will live on the recording forever. And no, don't. You need to hush your mouth, mama. Anyway, so yesterday I spent the whole day opening and closing the windows because it started out raining at one point, sprinkling, so I ran around and closed all the windows. And then before long, the rain stopped. I mean, it was just a gentle rain. It was really wonderful. Oh, so nice to listen to. I was doing a Reiki session and had the windows open. Oh, it was just delightful. I'm telling you, it was delightful. Listen to that rain. So anyway, the rain stopped. Oh, well, I had to go around and close the windows because it was raining. And then I had to go back and open the windows because, you know, when the rain stopped, then it got hot and muggy and all that kind of stuff. So I had to go open the windows because it was just like that. I'm like, oh. And don't you know, it wasn't very long. It started raining again. I'm like, are you kidding me? And it did that all day long, just off and on, off and on. So I'd get the windows open and everything would be cooled off and lovely and wonderful. And then it's like, no. Then it would rain. Have to run around and scramble to get everything closed back up. Exactly. See, I knew that Ruth would come in here as soon as she heard me say happy little circles. Yep. Okay. So maybe we'll do one more part of one in here. Maybe just a part. Oh yeah, I like that. Got some yellow going on. We're gonna put some stuff on top of this, so we don't have to use up all our tricks right off the bat, do we? Yeah, my mom says part of her job to embarrass us. That's right. I really try to not embarrass him too much because I will tell you, there is a distinct disadvantage when your technical department is also your son. You don't dare completely embarrass him, right? You have to always think. I have to always be thinking. He has the ability to pull the plug. Yeah. Okay. All right, so if we do this and we do that, we do this. So we got a purple thing going on here with the binding, and I think I want to put one more color in on that. And then we'll play a little bit more. Let's do another stencil. What color do you think we ought to put on this? I'll let you guys pick. What color do you think we should put a little stencil, something else on this one? What do you think? I may regret giving you the power, but... And we're going to use some splats. We're going to use some splats. What color do you think we ought to use? Think we should use yellow? Gold? White, orange. You guys are not helping me one bit. Mary says gold. Yeah, it's kind of got that bokeh effect, doesn't it? Mary's voting for gold. Mary is lobbying for gold real heavy. All right, let's do some gold. Got to keep Mary happy. Yes, we do. Let's do some gold splats. Let's see if this paint tube is... Let's see what shape this paint's in, shall we? It looks like it might be still a little creamy. Whoa! We got enough gold for... We putting that in another journal. Yes, we will. Clearly, this tube is in good shape. That is way too much gold. Oh dear. Oh well. Alright, so let's do some splats, shall we? Let's do some little splattage. Gotta keep Mary happy. Let's put a little gold on here and see what it looks like before we get too crazy. It's alright. It's not great, but it's alright. It's not great, but it's alright. So let somebody grab the gold paint and fling it. Want it to fling against the cover. Okay? So we'll just fling it. Yeah, it's kind of an old gold color. I prefer more yellow gold. But you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you got to use what you got, especially when you squirt out too much on the palette, right? Gold has to be thickly applied. Listen to her. Listen to her. I'll tell you that, Mary. She is something else here today. She is something else here today, trying to get me to send paint to her. Old crusty paint. She wants me to send old crusty paint to her. Now I'm not putting the gold paint on the way she wants it. Seriously, that Mary, she's something here. She is something. If you get enough gold on here, it's going to show up, Mary. I promise. If we get enough, it'll show up. Alright, Mary, we got some gold. We got some gold. I'm not done with it yet. We may add some gold paint pen, see? We may add some gold paint pen. Okay, we're going to call that good. I'm tired of doing that. Do you like that? I'm tired of doing that. So, because Mary will have a heart attack if we don't use this gold paint up, we're gonna put some gold paint in here because we don't want to cause Mary any heart palpitations. Right? I woke Alexa up. I'm so sorry. Nobody's awakened Siri here today. I'm sorry that I woke up your Alexa. So I'm just spreading the paint on here just to use it up. Just to use it up. Because whatever's on here, I'm sure will get covered up at some future point. Because we don't want to let that paint go to waste. Okay, good enough. Okay. Hello, creative space. Creative space. Danielle? Am I right? Okay, let's clean this up. Let's clean up this cruddy mat. Okay. Don't want this mat to get any worse than it already is, right? I woke up everybody's Alexa. Alexa, go to sleep. Nobody likes you, Alexa. Go to sleep. Now I'm just being bad. Siri, believe me, I get it. Siri is just as bad on the iPhone. My phone's sitting right here. 9 times out of 10, there's somebody in the chat that I'll say hello to. Most of the time it's Sherry. I'll say, hi, Sherry. And then, like, yes, what can I help you with? This is what I found on the web. It's like, go away. My favorite thing is one day, I don't know what, Siri had annoyed my husband for some reason. And so he swore at Siri. And she responded with, I would never speak to you that way. That was my favorite. I would never speak to you that way. Like, oh, good grief. I'm having a conversation with an iPhone. Having a conversation with a phone. What is wrong with me? Okay. What did I just tell? Here it is. Okay, I'm going to dry this just a minute. So, so the question is, do you want to watch me or do you want to watch the drying? Oh, good for you, Annette. Oh my gosh, that was so funny though. I mean, you just had no clue that the phone, that Siri would respond like that. Oh shoot, that was funny. And I would never speak to you that way. Hours of entertainment, I tell you, hours of entertainment. Have a this is how desperate we all are. You know you've gone stir crazy when and you know that you've been at home way too much, and you've been isolated and quarantined and blah 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 too much when you start talking to your phone. Goodness. Anyway. All right, this is pretty dry. It's pretty dry. Okay, let's go back. Let's do some paint pens, shall we? Let's do some paint pens. Oh, Mary, you're going to be so happy. Look what I have, Mary. Gold Uni Posca. Look. I have it in different size tips, Mary. Watch out. Yes, I'm telling you. Okay, enough with the giving Mary the business. I think I told you guys that I listened to a podcast called True Crime Garage. Is this black? I think it's black. And one of the guys in there always says, and that's enough of the business. Gets in your head, man. Gets in your head. Yeah. Okay, so let's do some black and white first, and then we'll do some gold for Miss Mary. Shall we? Does that sound good? We're going to do a lot of black. A little bit. Yeah, I know Mary's on live tonight. She'll get me back. She'll get me back. I don't generally get there live, but I do try to catch the recording. She'll get me back. This is still a little bit damp, so I'm just going to do some light spots, which will now promptly take it out of the bokeh effect and into some other effect, whatever that would be. Yeah. I have other stuff that's going to be on here, so this is all just background business. Mary's going to do a list on what's in my trash can. Well, be sure you include cat puke, because 9 times out of 10, somebody around here has decorated my studio. Okay, we're just going to leave that. Keep on, come over here and do some. Yeah, if you're going to get to me about my trash, be sure you include that. Oh, there's some days, Charlie, poor thing, he's the one with the bad stomach, and he'll go along for a long time and he's fine. Just fine. And then he'll have a day where it's like, you walk in, it's like, watch your step, watch your step, watch your step, you know. And I will spend quite a bit of time taking care of that. Oh, bless his heart. And then he won't have any problems for weeks and weeks. But boy, then he'll have a day and you're like, oh no. Poor guy. I think it's because he and Chance groom each other all the time. I mean, literally groom each other all the time. And because they groom each other so much, you know, there's so much cat hair. Of course, right now it's spring, and so everybody's doing the big shed. Yeah, it's pretty intense around here. It's pretty intense. Boston Terrier would run. Guilty as charged, right? Guilty. Mama, don't hate me. Chance and Charlie never worry about that. Like, they're like, clean up on aisle 3. I used to be able to snap my fingers really well. I don't snap my fingers so much anymore. What happens? Why does one lose the ability to snap? Now this poor, it's wet, so the white is just going to disappear into the background. That's all right. Can't hurt. It's just a layer. It's a layer that'll go in the background. Yeah, dogs have owners, cats have staff. I am well aware of that. I am cat staff, that is for certain. Cat staff. Yeah, clean up on aisle 6, Mom, and 7, and 8, and 9. Oh, and then there's 11 and 12, too. I mean, it's bad. That is just what everybody wanted to know about here today. I know. It's what you wanted to hear about today. See, that's what happens when I'm doing something. I don't have the ability to edit my speech. When I just start doing things and I just start randomly talking. That's why sometimes there are some live streams that never make it to the general public. Oh, shoot. Hi, Fast Quilter. I'm telling you, that's how bad it is sometimes. That is how bad it is, Lauren. That is how bad it is. Yep, that is how bad it is. And Chance hardly ever is sick. So when he is, then he just looks like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Who can't love something that has dots and more dots? I mean, really. If you don't like dots, you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place. You should not be hanging out with me if you don't like dots and spots. That sounds like a Dr. Seuss book, doesn't it? Dots and spots on dots. Dots on spots. Oh, I need a nap. I need some food and a nap, people. Food and a nap. Especially if I have to go defend myself at Mary's tonight. I have a feeling I'm going to have to go protect my reputation. That I know when an art supply is past its prime and that it is perfectly permissible to throw it away. Going to have to go defend myself. Going to have a nap first. Okay. All right. So we got black and some white spots. You understand it. All right, let's use some gold. Let's see. All right, which pen tip point do I want to use? We better use the big one because Mary's going to want the big one. I know that. She is not going to be happy unless we use the big one. It's going to be a cute little book cover. It's going to be kind of cute. All right, let's see. Some of this is going to get cut off. I know that, but I'm just trying it just to see what it's going to look like. Yeah, it's just sinking into the canvas, but you know what? It's kind of still there. It's kind of still there. So I'm just picking up shapes that I see in the background and putting some gold dots around it. Oh my goodness, if you're hearing my stomach, I'm really sorry. I have a pretty good sound system. So, yeah, apologies to anyone who is getting subjected to that. I'll hold it up here in a minute so maybe you can see it. The gold is going to show up better than the white. I miss baseball. Anybody else here missing baseball? Golly, I didn't know how much I would miss it. I really enjoy watching baseball games in the summer. Gosh, I miss it. Horse racing. Oh, man. Who do you root for, Jersey? All right. I'm going to tip this and see if you can see. Like, this is gold up here. Is that gold? This is gold here for sure. Yeah, some of it. You can see some of it kind of shining. Anyway, it doesn't all have to look the same. This is gold in here. Oh, you threw away the micro pen. Ah. Good for you, Cheryl. Good for you. Be strong. Don't dig it back out of the trash. Bye, Jan. I'm more fun than serious. Be nice to Sirius, because Sirius, not Sirius. I had a momentary brain fart. Sirius and Siri got all crossed up in my brain waves. Yes, Sirius and Siri got all crossed up in my head. So who do you root for, Laura? You like the dots of the fine liner? Yeah, they do stand up better. The Mets. Oh, you took him to the first game. Oh, that's cool. It has been years and years and years since I've been to a baseball game. Like years and years. Like I'm talking many years. We are smack dab in the middle between the Kansas City Royals and the St. Louis Cardinals. But holy mackerel, I miss being able to watch them. Okay, we're going to call it good because I'm tired of doing that. Because I'm tired of doing that. All right, let's do Oh, your dad used to take you. Oh, that's neat. What a great memory. I hope it was good. I hope you enjoyed it. Brenda misses getting her hair cut. That is so true, man. I finally got mine cut, but that's an ordeal. That is an ordeal. Getting your hair cut and colored while you have on a mask. Huh. And she had on a face shield. It's like, wow. Sometimes that's all you can say is wow. I'm going to call these spots right up to the top. What time is it? 2:46 here. If I nod off, you know that I was in desperate need of a nap. Get off my finger. Romeo gave up and used the Flowbee. Oh, how'd that go? Did it go okay, Laura? Good thing you had one. Oh, goodness. Okay. All right, we're going to call it good for this. I'm going to have to put this on the book before I can go any further because see what the backing does? It gets all screwed up, and so you got to put it on. I can't decorate it anymore until I get it on the book. All right, so let's see how this goes. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. Hi, wish me luck. I did oversize it, so that's a good thing. So I'm going to peel off the backing and see how sticky it is. You know, sticky. Some of the sticky is sticking. See that? That's because it gets wet. So some of the sticky is sticking not where I want it to go. So I'm going to see. I don't know if I can pull all this sticky off or not. I think maybe I can. Because I think I'd rather just put it on with glue. Let's see. Or we'll just put the glue on top of it. That's maybe what we're going to have to do. It's not going to all come off. All right. We're just going to put some glue on here. It's already warped, so it doesn't make any difference. It's already warped. So are you having fun today? Are you having fun? You like the gold on the spine? Cool. Yeah, Janet's cat's mean to the core. That's true. What's that cat's name? I forgot. What is that cat's name? Roxy. Now this may have some little hills and valleys in it because of the glue not... Do you see what happened? I didn't really show that to you. See the glue, big hunk of glue coming off? But it won't all come off. That's because I got it so wet. And I tried not to get it so wet, but it didn't matter. So I'm just going to use some gel medium. You're having fun? Okay, good, Laura. That's good. All right, I'm just going to put gel medium. This is golden soft gel matte medium. That's what I'm using. Because if the pages are already warped, who cares if they warp a little bit more? By the time I'm finished making this little book, who knows what it's going to look like? And furthermore, who cares? It's just to keep me off the streets. This book and my art is to keep me off the streets. Let's face it. Okay, let's see if this will go on. I cleaned my brayer. I knew that would impress each and every one of you. Yeah, out of stores, off the streets, in the studio. I worked for, work is a loose term, but I worked for Warren, who was an older gentleman, and he wrote columns for the newspaper. Some of you will remember those days. All right, I don't want you going on the edges. All right, I'm just going to cut this off. And the way that we got together is I was sitting with a friend outdoors having tea or something in the downtown area of our town. Can I do this and talk at the same time? This is a question. No, I can't. Okay, hang on. I will finish the story here in a minute. Anyway, I was sitting having tea or something with this friend of mine. And our downtown area has parking meters. And so we were aware of this little old guy toddling, literally shuffling is probably a better word, shuffling up the street in front of us. And just as he got to us, he was several parking meters away. Just as he got to us, somebody pulled out of the very end parking spot on the corner. And he says, "Oh, darn, that's where I should have parked." And he says, "Because it's hard for me to walk that far." And so the person I was having tea with said, she says, "Well, go get your car." She says, "I'll stand in the parking place and hold it for you." Which is exactly what she did. So she's standing in the parking place, so no one can park there, while he walks back down the street to get his car. Okay? Okay, now understand, get a picture of this. The guy can't walk very well. So he's parked his car, he's walked up where we are, but now in order to save walking time, he's now walked back to his car to get in his car to drive up to the parking place. I don't know how much that energy that was going to save him, but anyway. Anyway, so after he had done whatever it was he was going to do, we were still sitting at the table. And so now, okay, understand, just get a visual of this. So now he's parked, we're like mid-block. So now he's come up there, gone back, moved his car, gone in, done whatever he needed to do in this building. And then he comes back, and now he wants to talk to us. So now he gets in his car, or gets something out of his car, and he walks down to us again and talks to us, and then he's going to have to walk back to his car. So the logic of this kind of escapes me, but anyway. So he came back, and he wanted to thank the person I was with for holding that parking spot. And so he had a book in his car that he had written, and so he wanted to give her a copy of his book. This is really sticky when you don't want it to be. So he and there was an extra chair at our table, so he just sat down with us, and we were talking to him. I didn't know who it was. It turns out I did know who he was, but I didn't know at the time that I knew him. That didn't make any sense, but you got the picture. If you've been hanging around me long enough, you know how to fill in the blanks. Now this little strip is probably good enough to use for something. I will save that. This one, not so much. This one, maybe. See, I do have this thing about saving little scraps for things that I think will be good. Those are not good. Throw them away. It was the thought that counted. It really was. Okay, so there's one. All right, which cover is this? That's the front cover. So anyway, he sat down and was talking to us, and he said, this was quite a long time ago, and he says, you don't know anybody that knows how to type, do you? And out of my mouth come the words, how you can just watch yourself having a conversation that you didn't intend to participate in at all. That's what happened. I wasn't intending to have this conversation. I wasn't intending to respond to him because he was talking to the person I was there with. This little book is so wonky. Poor little thing. Good thing I like you. It's a good thing I like this little book because bless its heart, it's got a serious wonk happening. Anyway, so out of my mouth roll the words, well, I know how to type. And I'm like, oh, what did I just do? And he says, you do? He said, do you know how to use a computer? And I'm like, well, yeah. What you need? Well, he needed somebody to type his articles for him. He was writing articles for the local newspaper, and he needed somebody to do that. He says it wouldn't involve very much time, and it's only a couple hours a week or whatever. And he says, I really need somebody to help me because whoever had been helping him had quit. Poor little wonky Barb. Poor little wonky book. We go together. That one came. Probably if I'd let it completely dry, the fabric, it would have been better, but I didn't, so there you go. Cut that one a little close. I think I got it covered though. That's good. So anyway, he said, would you be interested in he said, would you really do that? And I said, well, if you don't need, I'm thinking maybe he needs me one time, right? And so then he says, well, give me your phone number. And I'm thinking, he'll never call me. The guy was in his 90s at the time. So I'm like, he's not going to call me. And so then he toddles back up the street, gets it back in his car, which now he's walked the equivalent of about 2 blocks. Literally, he has walked about 2 blocks. And he gets back in his car and drives off, and I'm thinking, I'll probably never hear one single thing from him ever, right? Well, it was like that night or the next day he calls me up. Wanted to know if I was serious, that he really wanted me to help him, and he would pay me, and so forth and so on. There's another little strip that'll work for something. And so, as you can tell, I'm not watching the chat because I'm rattling and trying to cut this evenly. Hang on. I don't have very much I can cut off here, so I got to concentrate myself. This canvas, by the way, will ravel, so you have to be okay with that. So anyway, he says, he wants to know if I'll really help him, and like, yes. So we arranged for whatever day it was, one afternoon I'd go over and I'd help him, so I did. And that relationship turned into me working for him for several years until he could no longer write his columns, and he ended up having to be moved into a nursing home and so forth. So that ended our relationship, but we worked together for several years. Well, anyway, every year he'd throw himself a birthday party. And, he would have it like at the country club, he didn't do anything. He liked to talk about being frugal, but then would throw himself birthday parties, at the country club. So, kind of you're like, yeah, not so much. I'm not sure how much I believe that. So, I would go to his birthday party, and I don't know if it was the first year or the second year I went, I didn't realize, but his sons, he had a big family. He had 8 kids, 4 of his own children, and 4 children that he had with his first wife. He was married several times. And then he had 4 children that he adopted from his last wife. I think he was married 4 times. 2 of them, I think twice he was married to the same person. So I'm not sure if that counts or not, but anyway. There's the front cover. It looks kind of cute. See how wonky it is? See the pages stick up? That's okay. We're going to live with it. We don't care. We don't care. So anyway, he had all these kids. Well, then, at this birthday, sometimes they'd all show up and other times they wouldn't. Okay, I think this is going to work. Yeah, it's going to be okay. All right, I just need to draw a guideline. You got to be okay with the wonk factor here. If you're not okay with the wonk, this is not your thing. Anyway, so I didn't know that his son, who did this party, he was like the MC of the party. And so he would just randomly call on people to speak. I'm like, well, wait a minute, I didn't know this was part of the deal, right? Okay, I think we can do that. If I just give myself one mark, I should be able to do this. Okay. Cross your fingers. We'll hope this works. If it doesn't work, we'll always wish it did. So the son called on me. I don't know, it was the first or second year I was involved at the birthday party. And so, I wasn't sure what I was supposed to say. So I thought, all right, I'll just tell them about Warren picking me up off the streets in our town. Because Warren was quite a rounder anyway. He got around in his younger days. And when I said, well, I thought I would tell you the story about how Warren and I met, and he saved me from the streets of our town, and I'm telling you, you could have heard a pin drop in that place, because everybody, there was a big assumption that I was a lady of the evening. So then I told the rest of the story. They all decided it was funny and everything was okay, and Warren thought it was hilarious. So it was all good after that. But, sometimes I just need to keep my mouth shut. You know what I mean? I don't know if that was one of those times or not, but they got a charge out of it, and there was some significant shock factor involved, and yeah. Okay, now this is the back of the book, and it's really going to be wonky-er on the spine. So this is the back. This is the front. It's kind of cute. It's kind of cute, don't you think? All right, we're going to put the brush in the water, put the lid on the matte gel. I'm going to leave this, and I'll clean this up and trim it out later. But what I'm going to put on this little book, shocker, I'm going to put a couple of mandalas. These are printed on the same stuff, so these are printed on here. So these are my mandalas, and these are just ones. Whoops. Which one do I like better? That one or this one? Or this one? That one. These are printed on the sticky back canvas. So that's what's on here. So I'm going to do like that. And before I change my mind, I'm just going to go for it. So I'm going to peel off the back, paper backing. And if for any reason these decide that they're going to come off, I will glue them back on. And I may use a paint pen and do a little embellishment around these later. I don't know. I just thought I'd show you what I was going to do. I'm not really a lot of a trim person, so I don't usually do a lot of that, not for any reason other than it's just not my thing. But it's a very valid point. It is a very valid point to put some trim around the edges, and then I wouldn't see the wonk. Okay, this little piece right here needs some glue edge. So anyway, that was how Warren got me off the streets. I'm telling you, his family, if you could have taken a picture of his family and their reaction to me, like, you could just see them all going, oh, the poor thing. Then they heard the story, and then they're like, oh, you so got us. You so got us. And Warren thought it was great. He was just thrilled. Because he got attention, you know. Okay, so we're going to stick some mandalas on the back cover. And I'll probably ink around the edges of this too. But there you go. He was fun. He was a really good idea. He was a really good guy. I loved him. I did. He entered my life at a time when I really, really needed someone like him in my life. Yeah, it was great. Just looking through my choices of mandalas here. This is the back, so we're not going to get too carried away. We're just going to stick them on. My stories are interesting. See, that's how the sticky back stuff's supposed to work. It's supposed to just stick right down. Sometimes it's a bit of a challenge to get the sticky started, the backing. Okay. So we're probably going to call that good and move on. And I'll deal with the ends of this later, and I'll finish. If I want to do any more embellishing, I'll do that after a while. But there you go. There's a cover. Front, back, spine. It's not a hard cover. It's a soft cover. But it's worked out. It's worked out fine. And this is a Teflon bone folder that I'm just using to burnish this down. Burnish down the edges. So does anybody have any questions for me? Because I'm going to go take off. We didn't get any place with the tag situation. Maybe we'll do that next week. Which you guys have probably all forgotten that that's where we started out. Oh, yes. Okay. Put all these little mandalas back. Oh, thanks, Joan. Oh, thanks, Laura. Thanks for being here. I'm glad each and every one of you were here. The sponsors were out earlier, so we are not going to get them out again. So if you missed the sponsors, you'll have to go back to the beginning. So there's our little book. And it's not so precious that I won't be able to work in it. And see what I mean by it's not too precious? See, it's not gonna have a, this is handmade. This is handmade book at its finest. Yes. Just handmade, wonky little book. Not unlike the handmade aspect of this one. Very much handmade. You know, you see the holes, you see a lot of the construction of the book, and yeah, sometimes it's fun to do that. Other times, you know, it's also fun to make a book that's case bound and it's all meticulous and all of that. I enjoy doing stuff like that too. I don't do that as often as I do wonky books. I do love wonky above. I don't know what I was supposed to. Oh, did I print those on inkjet? The mandalas are printed on the inkjet. They are. They are. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. It did bring me joy. I like little things like this. You know what? I just like to look at it. And I'll tell you what, aside from, you know, this needs to be cut off. But aside from it being wonky, just I like looking at stuff like this because it was fun, because I'll have the memory that I made it with you guys, and that makes my day. All right, I will see you guys next week. Remember to get creative today, because you know it's easy, and I will see you next Friday. Remember to keep it drama free, people. See ya. Bye for now. Stay creative, everybody. It'll help.